Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Squid Game Season 1, Episode 7, VIPs, which means I think we're finally going to get to find out more about who these VIPs are. I am so loving this show, but it's a lot when you watch it, so I am preparing myself mentally. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, which I think, if I can do maths right, means that, yeah, the finale will be up today on... When you're watching... I can look at my own schedule. Yeah, so does that mean? Yeah, that means so sorry. That means if you're watching this on YouTube, all of it is now currently unedited on my Patreon. You can also get it edited 1 week in advance. And let's go. God, my brain does not function. I can't even read my own date. He's still in your suite. She just got out of having to do that game because no one picked her. So she's still in the runnings. Oh. This is a very weird game. Hesitating to answer it. Is it because there's an intruder? How on earth is he managing to hide so well for so long? Has he guessed, or did he hear something? Oh. Fuck. That's why he hesitated. It wasn't because he was nervous about anything. It was because he recognized that the frickin' receiver was the wrong way around. Oh fuck. They've even removed the beds. They really exploited the most vulnerable people to make them choose to come here. Because I don't think it's like, oh, you know, they consented, it's all fine. They didn't feel like they had any other choices in their lives. Jesus, I wonder how... I actually would really be interested to see how that one panned out. Like, did she surrender so he would live? Did they both... Was it like a Clint and Natasha on top of the cliff style thing? Or... Is it his brother? Because his brother went missing. Or are the VIPs the winners? Does he want to vote to leave again? I feel like at this point they kind of think, like, they've been through so much, why not stick it out? You could have had this before you... This show really is talking about how money rules our lives and the sort of things people are willing to do for money. Who are these people? Former winners? Rich people that fund it? Both? Who's this? The old man? His hair looked great. Taking his mask off? Thought you weren't allowed to do that.
Unfortunately, some urgent business has prevented him from attending.
His illness?
The host. The remaining games will be held as
scheduled.
scheduled.
The host is player one. My theory remains. And I'm very sorry, player one, if you are just a genuinely sweet old man.
A difficult man to please. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Why are all these rich foreign people coming and torturing South Koreans? It's very... I mean, admittedly, makes sense from a colonial standpoint of, like, white people with power using people of colour in horrible ways, but how did this all come about? Jesus, he would be fucking alive, wouldn't he? Shut the fuck up. If your religion mattered to you, you would have sacrificed yourself in this game long ago, or you would have been standing down there offering to leave as well. Jesus.
Give us a hint.
The games this edition have been amazing.
Right, the contest in Korea was the best. Thank you.
Oh.
The next game will exceed your expectations.
Do they do it around the world then? In different countries?
Put a lot of money on that dickhead to win.
How much did you bet?
$1 million.
Oh my goodness.
You 2-bit So much on number 69.
Oh, it's such a beautiful number.
Of course.
Oh, you dirty dog.
Jesus. How can you treat other humans like this? But the worst thing is that people would do it. Because, you know, like gladiator fights and throughout history.
교대 시간이야.
Jesus Christ, he wants to figure out more about the VIPs. Oh, he's so brave. I don't see this ending well. I don't know how he gets off the island. His phone, thankfully, had a lot of information on it, but how much sleep did they get? And will they see the dead dude? Or will they just see the numbers as 18? Or did he not hang himself? What a beautiful way to wake up. There is nothing worth what they're going through. Even if you live a miserable life or end up in like a prison for your debts or whatever. But then some of them are at risk of like actual bodily harm or whatever on the outside as well. It's just the fact that there is even the idea that this concept could work, that this many people could regularly be induced, coerced into wanting to take part in this sort of a game, go through this trauma just for money, shows you how messed up our society is, and it also helps to show that capitalism does not work. Oh, they're going to sense something like he looks at them in a way he shouldn't, or he... I don't know, I just...
God damn it.
At least if you win, you can pay for an expensive therapist. You probably won't tell anybody. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Is there luck? Like, is there going to be, like, parachute and some of them don't work? Or is it going to be, like, the order you do the game in and it'll actually help whether you're the beginning or the end and you just don't know? Fuck. This concept of making them choose before they fully understand it is so sadistic. I mean, so is everything, but...
I'll try 96.
Oh, it's sickening, isn't it? But I mean, the wealthy of the real world, the Tory party, when you think of some of the things Boris Johnson has said, it's not a far stretch to imagine he'd fit right in here. Oh lord, 13's my lucky number, but then do you want to be that near the end?
The middle numbers first. 순서? 순서라고?
Is it going to be something where there are fewer chances at the end, or is it going to be where there are more...
게임을 하는 순서라면 그놈의 줄다리기 때처럼 앞에서 작전을 짤 수도 있잖아.
It's brutal, isn't it, to know what to do, and oh well.
16번 안 되는데 마지막에 하는 거 싫은데.
Oh, you're going to have to. Yep. Is it 1 or 16? I think the decision's going to be made for you. Either they're going to come and snatch that one out of your hand, or they're going to go for 16.
Down to 2 positions.
Who's the other
First
person?
and last.
평생 한 번도 제 인생을 주인공처럼 살아본 적이 없어요.
Can be the star of your death, I suppose. If it's something, there could be a benefit to being at the back. It just depends what the fucking game is, and I don't know. There's a bridge. What is a bridge?
Motherfucker.
This is just sickening, and I know that's the point. And as I keep saying, the worst thing is how you can so imagine that this is how the rich of our world view the poor. Jesus. Fuck. Does that mean it could be beneficial to be last because there'll be lots of people will have died by that point, so you can tell some more of the good ones from the bad? You're dead. Unless there is a genuine miracle. So this time it properly is beneficial to go last. He's gonna die immediately.
너 안 나가면 내가 너 밀어버린다.
갈게요. 가면 되잖아.
He's gonna die.
잘 골라요.
Yeah, player 2 needs him to miraculously make it across so she can follow.
He's gone. Oh no. Well, that's it for 96.
Oh, what a shame.
Jesus, how could you?
You've already found some more fun.
How could you view humans in this way? This is awful, but of course it is. Fucking hell. Oh Lord. See, like, now he's done that, I'd be like, I'd forget the order. I just completely, because the pressure would get to me. Yeah, they are coming along more than one at a time. And they're spaced apart, so you can't just sprint it, of course. Ugh.
왼쪽.
I don't even remember, and I was watching this not in fear of my life.
Your mask off.
He's
I
not,
want to see your face.
he's not allowed, right? Jesus.
그래서 겁에 질린 인간들이 시간을 끌기 시작하면 뒤에 있는 우리도 위험해질 거야.
They can hold two at a time, so you could put pressure on them. At the end of the day, God wasn't with you, was he?
다리가 없습니다.
God, they can all hold up to two people.
날이 다가왔어요.
Jesus Christ, you brought this on yourself. I mean, everyone here did, but if you're such a man of faith and this is so wrong, you made your own choices. And I also do believe they were all coerced and their consent wasn't right. Oh, they're both gonna fall. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's one strategy. Take so long that you can then throw somebody else into one. I can't lie, that is a big jump. I would probably miss the jump. He let you live for one more jump. But you see, now he's just going to do the same thing to you. Oh, God. I've already forgotten which one it was.
왼쪽이야. 왼쪽이라고. 정신 차려.
Does he trust her? Moment of truth. She is a good person underneath it all.
진짜 그게 구별이 돼? 감이 와요.
Oh Lord.
달라요.
Then just go for it. I'm sure the colours are different because of what's underneath. Why do I feel like Thingamajig's gonna push him off?
Exciting.
I'm glad we're learning more about the VIPs, but it does make this even more sickening.
난 니들 대신 뒤져 있으니까 다 점프하고. 네가 먼저 가든지.
Take your mask off so we can identify you, please.
Satisfied?
Good, good, good. Good, you sick old man. What does it feel like? Fuck. It's come down to those two. She said she'd kill him. Can she? Oh. Is she gonna jump with him? Fuck. Oh my god. Fuck. I guess she knew she wasn't making it across, being the next in line, so she took him down too. took some power in her own game.
VIP는 체크야.
Fuck. Well, my lucky number's 13, although I have a feeling it'll be the last 3 will be those guys. We've never seen this man before.
인연을 일으켜. 다른 사람은 볼 수 없지만 강화유리는 비스듬한
Okay, maybe.
빛에 비춰보면 일반 유리보다
Okay, we don't have any hammers.
왜 그걸 이제야 말합니까? Is examining the refraction of the light. Let me adjust the settings.
Oh shit. That's so mean. That's not fair. There's 1 left, so they will make it. Those 3, even if he doesn't, right? Or are there 2? It's really. I think there's only 1. It's very hard to tell with the lights off.
살아있나?
무사하십니다.
침입자나?
수색 중입니다.
Did they knew that was the intruder? Because he collapsed? Oh lord. Oh. If you throw that hard enough, it would shatter the one, right?
오른쪽 소리도 들어봐야
We don't have another one. You have to go because you're going to kill everybody. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
그럼 그냥 가.
See, deep down at his core, there is a there's a ruthless survival instinct got all of us, but Sang-woo has been the quickest to resort to such things. You've just got to go, you've got to go, you've got to go. Go, 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 my loves. Oh. I'm just so stressed because in those files there was only 1 winner. That is brutal. Assault them with gas after they win. Oh lord. You brave, brave soul. Is your phone waterproof? Good job. How far are you from any other land? Oof. Okay, so in this episode we finally got to meet the VIPs, and they are as skin-crawlingly, entitledly rich men as you might have expected. I'm sure there are also women watching on screen somewhere too. And yeah, this show is definitely about the evils of money and how it kind of has this hold on us in our lives. I still stand by the fact that I don't think any of these contestants truly consented to this, because when there is essentially a gun to your head, and okay, yes, the literal guns are all in the games, but in their real lives, they were all pushed to the point. They only chose people who genuinely felt like they had nowhere else to turn, that this was the only way they could get out of whatever situation they were in. They chose the most vulnerable members of society in that way. There was no way they could have consented. You know, it's exactly the same way that even if someone agrees to have sex, if you are threatening their physical safety, even if it's not an overt threat, but you've made it very clear that if they don't do what you want, something bad will happen. A bit like if that guy had been with one of the real attendants who'd have had to do something with him. It's not actually consent because they do not have a choice. And just the idea that anybody could look at another human and have that kind of cavalier attitude, that cheering when they die and oh no, and you know, just totally viewing it as a sport, betting on their survival. It is sickening. It is reminiscent of Gladiator games, of the Hunger Games, of all sorts of things. And why these stories resonate so well is because they are so realistic, and that is the worst thing. They represent the worst of society in so many ways. That's why the Hunger Games was such a chilling show, because books and movie, because you could really feel the world could end up like that if we're not careful. Breaks my heart for these characters, all of them. I had a feeling those 3 would make it, especially when they were at the end of the line. But the fact that when he looked through the list of winners, there was only 1 winner, that really stresses me out, because I really like Sae-byuk and oh my god, his name is escaping me now. Ji-hun. Like, I really, really like their characters. I think what these games have also shown you is at our basest, every single one of us has that drive to survive. Every single one of us has, as much as you want to think, I could never hurt another person, I could never do anything wrong. If it comes down to them or me, every single one of us has the right circumstances where we would go over that line. And maybe for some people it would be if it's like them or the child or whatever, like every single one of us could cross that line and get to that dark place. We saw that a little bit with him like lying with the marbles and whatnot. But there are people who at their core are good, and there are people who at their core are selfish, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad, but like Sang-woo, I feel like the choices he made in his life that led him to where he is now were selfish to begin with. Maybe he has a gambling problem, I don't entirely know how he got into so much debt, but he mucked up, and a lot of that maybe it comes from the pressure that was put on him as a child, or you're the golden one, you're the great one. But we have seen him since an early game when he could have helped his friends. I mean, one of them was actually his friend as well, when he could have told them what shape would be best, and he didn't. All the way through to now, where he pushes that guy and doesn't, you know, the guy maybe could have had a chance, could have jumped, could have guessed, and he just shoved him. And again, I can also understand that, because had there been any longer, the three wouldn't have made it. So it's just, he made that choice too willingly, and I do think the other two may well have done it too in that position, or they could have tried to jump past him, or just, it's so chilling. But I think consistently he's the one that has got the hardest shell, and I think the slightly more selfish core. But that, again, the situation they're in is one none of us could imagine, and just, it's your life is on the line here, your future, your family's future. As a final three, I am extremely emotional. So part of me feels like Ji-hun's gonna win just because he's like the main character. He's the guy we followed in the first episode, and yes, we've got to know the others along the way. I feel like I want all of them to survive. I wish every single one of these 496 people could be alive. Out of this three, I think I don't want Ji-hun to die, but I feel like Sae-byuk's story is the one that is the most deserving of winning, if that makes sense. It's a bit like why her friend in the last one died. None of them deserve to die. Ji-hun deserves to live, to get to know his daughter, watch her grow up, get to turn his life around, get to be there for his mother. There are 1,001 things he deserves to be there for. But for Sae-byuk's family, her little brother, her mother, they need her. And given, you know, she's one of the people who ended up in this position through no fault of her own. You know, the desperation she's in is because of the country she grew up in, and the fact that no one is really helping people in North Korea get out or escape, and when they do get out, giving them opportunities and helping them. You know, in that sense, I'd want her to win, but I don't want Ji-hun to die either. And I don't want Sang-woo to die. You know, ideally I'd like him to survive as well, but if any of the three had to go, it would be him. The VIPs, it's just, they are capital citizens in the flesh. So sickening. The way that they just swan around, calling each other savage, and then wanting to, like, coerce people into having the weird painted people they had as well. It's just sickening, and it's obviously meant to be. And it breaks my heart to think of within this world how many people have been through that, and how easily there could be things like this happening in our world and we would never know. I'd like to believe there couldn't be anything on this scale, get it, because it would have got out by now, but for all we know, this could be happening somewhere. Maybe that's where Boris Johnson has been when he hasn't been fucking running the country. And then we have, oh my god, the policeman's name, it's Jun-ho, I think. Part of me still wonders if his brother isn't the front man, just because where else is he? Because he was missing. Did he take his own life on the anniversary of the Squid Game or something? I hope not, for Jun-ho's sake. But then maybe him being dead and traumatized is better than him being an enabler of this murder. But then once you're in, you're kind of in, and you've killed people along the way, whether it's through inaction or whatever. It's so messy. How is he gonna, like, how far away from mainland Korea is this island? Are there other islands nearby? Are there other, like, ferry I mean, I don't know how you could wave down a ferry, you'd probably just get run over. Or are they going to catch him? I feel like if they catch him, it will be his brother, because, you know, as much as I feel like the brother probably would kill him because he's given up everything else for this game, but we would see. I hope he can get to safety, or at least his phone is in a watertight bag and he can, like, send it off to shore or something, so someone else will find it, boot it up, and then see what's inside. But it's just, oh. Now, at the beginning, the host, it looked like the old man to me, Ilnam. It looked like him. He had grey hair, and I don't know if that's just what they want you to think. I feel bad for continuing my wild conspiracy theory, but it's better than him dying. And like, I feel like we saw Sae-byuk's friend, we saw Ali, we saw the people that we'd been following, we watched them die and collapse, whereas we didn't. And that could just be because they didn't want to shoot an old man in the head on television, but this show hasn't exactly been squeamish. So yeah, a lot of theories, a lot of stress. This was another really, really good episode, a really brutal episode. It was a fitting end for Gangster Guy, though I'm kind of sad that I'm sorry, I'm bad at remembering names in general at the moment, and names from a different culture I wish I could be better at. It's sad that she died, but she also was quite a ruthless person. I don't know, they all deserve to live, even the people I don't particularly like the Gangster Guy. But yeah, this was another brilliant episode. This show is so well done, even though it's devastating. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon, including all of Squid Game Season 1 right now, and the edited version 1 week in advance. Thank you so much for watching.